Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I got another GTA 4 lore video, and you guys might remember like 8 months ago in like late December time, I did kind of a similar GTA 4 lore video in which I visited a neighborhood in real life. And I visited Coney Island, which is Firefly Island in GTA 4. And so a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of the neighborhoods, even like the smaller ones in like GTA 4 are heavily inspired by real neighborhoods, and these real neighborhoods and these landmarks are actually much bigger in real life. So on today's video, I'm actually in Flushing Meadows Park, which in GTA 4, this is actually called Fresh Meadows Park. You actually see that big tower right behind me? That is called the Pavilion. We'll be going there a little bit later. I'm going to show you guys this park. This is the park for people that aren't familiar. This is literally across the block from Packy's house. So right where Packy lives, it's right across the street from him. And also, this park plays a pretty big role in the Ballad of Gay Tony. So let me show you guys something right here. So you guys see this right here. This is the Unisphere, and this plays a massive role in the Ballad of Gay Tony. Anybody that's like driven by Fresh Meadows Park in GTA 4 is familiar with this thing. And this globe is actually massive. I actually forgot how big this thing actually was, but this is much bigger than what it actually is in GTA 4. And normally there's actually a fountain here and there's water, but there's no water here right now. I'm not sure why. Also guys, if you hear like a lot of background noise, I apologize for that. It's just been a little hard for me to record. This is like the third time I tried recording because there's just been so much background noise, a lot of noisy vehicles and stuff. But if you hear any background noise, I apologize for that. But yeah, normally would have a lot of water here. So this is the Unisphere, and there's actually a cutscene in the Ballad of Gay Tony. The ending to the Ballad of Gay Tony actually takes place right here, and it's right after Luis actually kills Bulgarin. He has to meet Tony here, and Luis and Tony actually talk about meeting here. Let me play that cutscene here.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Pops. Oh, come on, get up. Get up. You okay?
Yeah, thanks.
Take care of yourself, okay? Stay away from idiots like me.
Fuck you.
You always have to make a scene, don't you?
Yeah, I know, it's a real problem with me, you know? I wish I was more like you. Subtle, shy, retiring.
Boy. I used to play around here when I was a kid. Dreaming of the world, wondering what it was like at that place over there, or that little island over there.
You ever go that thing?
Nah, went to Algonquin instead, waiting for the world to come to me. You did it, man. You did it. You saved my life. You saved the business. You fucking did it.
Hey, man, I did what I could, bro.
I'm proud of you, man. Thank you. But I don't want you to get a big head. I don't want you to go change, become a megastar, go to Vinewood, write a blog. Oh.
You're a pill-popping old queen, man. I'm a murdering maniac. But we survived, bro. We survived.
We did more than survive, amigo. We prospered. We took on this town and we won. We took on this place and we gave it the fucking finger. Fuck you all! I don't care what people say. Tony Prince and Luis Lopez could not be stopped. Huh? Oh, jeez, who's this?
What's up, my niggas?
Oh, did he just say that?
Yeah, hey, man.
You fucking made it, man. That was some serious gangster shit. Shoot, shoot, shoot 'em up. I said shoot, shoot, shoot 'em up. Yo, T, give me a hug, give me a hug. Not too close, though. I don't want to give my father the wrong impression. Ah, Luis, I love you, man. I love you. I love you, too. I love everyone. Come on, let's get out of here. Oh, by the way, I think my father may be into franchising clubs.
I know, franchising is not the way to go. The club is all about the people.
Fuck the people. Fuck them all. Whip out your dick and piss all over them.
You're gonna go a long way in hospitality, my friend.
So this right here where I'm sitting, this is actually kind of like the bench area where Luis and Tony actually sat, and you guys can see the sphere is right there. But it's yeah, this is where Tony and Luis sat. This is right where the end of the ballad takes place, and look at that right there. There's the garbage cans. Maybe we can end up finding Bulgarin's diamonds in there and become multi-millionaires, and then we go to Vice City and buy a ton of property like the homeless guy did, because that was the thing. The homeless guy, he's actually a big part of the story in GTA 4, even though he makes such minimal appearances. And a lot of people forget that the homeless guy in GTA 4 actually appears in the first time in Nico's story. He appears actually in Firefly Island, and Vlad actually scares him.
Damn city, always trying to run you down, huh?
Hey man, cannonball.
Get a
dollars.
job,
Hey,
you deadbeat
Just
crackhead!
a little change, man.
Man, where do these people get off?
Whoa.
Like I'm gonna pay for their drug habits. Well, say something! You're so fucking laid back! Moron! Come on!
So that guy ends up becoming a millionaire, and he ends up purchasing a bunch of stores in Vice City with the Bulgarin's diamonds. Now, there's actually a chance he might actually make an appearance in the next GTA game if it's Vice City. I don't like to, speculate. Like, there's a lot of, GTA YouTubers that do the speculation crap. I don't really do that. But if the next GTA game does take place in Vice City, there's a chance that that guy might come back, and a lot of people don't realize that. So Tony and Luis, they do meet up right in front of this the sphere, and if you want to know, I actually grew up probably I'd say 15 minutes from here. I grew up in a neighborhood in Queens. I was born in Brooklyn, but I grew up half of my life in Queens, and so I passed this park so many times as a kid. I actually did not. We always just referred to this thing as the Globe when I was a kid. The towers that are actually the Pavilion, those things over there. That I actually never really knew what that thing was called. Passed it so many times as a kid, but I actually researched that a lot lately. But like I said, we'll be going there a little bit later. But anyways, with the globe. So the backstory behind this thing is that this globe was actually constructed in 1964, I believe, and this was constructed right when the space age was happening. So in the late 50s, the Soviet Union, they actually sent the first satellite into space, Sputnik, and then they sent a man into space later on who circled the globe. But then the U.S. in the late 60s was actually the first to send a person on the moon. So this basically globe was made to represent the beginning of the space age, when countries were going to start exploring space, and it was meant to represent the fact that our globe, as we see it, is massive, but our globe is starting to shrink as we explore the space world. As we explore the galaxy, we see just how small our planet is in comparison to the galaxy and everything else out there. But that's basically the story behind the globe. Actually, when this thing was actually being built, originally they were actually planning on making this thing spin. So this thing was actually supposed to rotate. But the reason that they ended up not doing that was because it was going to be a lot of electricity required, and also because it was going to be way more expensive. So they decided to instead make it just stationary like this. And also the World's Fair in the 60s was actually held here in Flushing, and it revolved around this globe. So a lot of countries did end up going to the fair, and so there was a lot of different exhibits from countries. But that's basically the background behind this. Swimming prohibited. This fountain contains high pressure jets that could cause personal injury or be damaged. So yeah, don't know if that's the reasoning on why the fountains aren't working right now, but yes, people have actually tried to jump into the water there. This happens all over the world. Whenever you have a monument anywhere, people do try to do dumb things occasionally. I did want to mention that in the video though. And also, there is something even crazier. People have actually tried to climb this thing before. They really have actually tried to climb this thing, and it's resulted in some accidents. It's a really cool monument, but unfortunately, you have some people that do ridiculous things sometimes. But so this is the Queens Museum, guys, and as you can see, this is right across from the Unisphere, and this building is also in GTA 4, but I believe that this building is much smaller in GTA 4, and it's a museum filled with artwork, and I believe they have a scaled model of New York City. The reason I didn't end up going inside is because it's a very big building, and there's a lot of people in it. It's kind of packed right now. But this is what the Queens Museum actually looks like. So this is a real building as well.
Going on.
I'm out of your league.
So this is again me, and this is a frame of the globe, just so you guys can see how big it is. When I got a little closer, it didn't seem that big, but it is massive. I'm telling you, it's giant. It's and I literally, when I was actually coming here, I thought it was going to be the size of GTA 4. Again, because again, I haven't been here in so many years, but I forgot just how big this this globe is. And overall, this park is actually massive. Like, this park, you know, goes on for miles and miles. Has a lot of different places to go. In GTA 4, you could basically run across the whole park in just, you know, maybe 2 minutes if you just sprint across with Nico, Luis, or Johnny. So basically, that's just something to keep in mind, that a lot of the neighborhoods in GTA 4 are based on real life neighborhoods. But just think of those neighborhoods in GTA 4 and just basically take them and make the neighborhoods like 3 or 4 times bigger than they actually are, and also add, you know, way more buildings into them. And that's, you know, how it is. And obviously it's scaled down, because if they were actually making a complete accurate map of New York City, then, you know, that would be, you know, their largest map ever. It would just be absolutely massive, because New York City is like one of the largest cities in the world. And if you want to know, you know, my opinion on how accurate is the map in Liberty City and GTA 4 to New York City, the scale of the map, like the actual structure of the map, is kind of accurate. How you have, you know, Dukes, which is based on Queens, this is, you know, the borough of Queens. You have, you know, Broker, which is based on Brooklyn, and that's on the right side. You have Francis International Airport, which is based on JFK. You have to the north, you have Bohan, which is the Bronx. That is to the north of New York. It's part of the city. It's other borough. And then you have Algonquin in the middle, which is Manhattan. And then you have on the left side Alderney, which Alderney is actually not part of Liberty City. A lot of people don't know that. Alderney is actually part of the state of Alderney. It's actually based on New Jersey, and Alderney City is based on Jersey City. You know, the main borough that they were actually missing in Liberty City was Staten Island, and a lot of like New Yorkers actually complained about that heavily when GTA 4 came out, that there was no Staten Island. Staten Island is a smaller borough. It would be to the south, to the southwest of Manhattan. It'll be a little bit closer to New Jersey, but it's a small borough that I guess the game kind of missed. But I guess, you know, they were trying to scale down the map, so that might explain it. But I noticed that a lot of games that actually take place in New York City, like especially open world games, like they tend to miss Staten Island. Like The Godfather was another open world game, and they missed Staten Island as well. So the Godfather map of New York City was massive. So Staten Island was not in that game either. So this structure right here, this is the Pavilion. That's what most people call it here. Officially, technically, it's called the New York State Pavilion. And this structure was built in the 1960s, more as a decoration and as a landmark. And the city has debated several times on whether to demolish this this structure or restore it. Ultimately, it was chosen to restore it. And the main part of the building, the big round part right there, that part has been repainted and remodeled a few times. But what has never really been restored is actually the towers. So you guys actually see the towers actually have some pretty bad rust there. I believe there's some construction projects going on right now. I believe that's why they have that big staircase. There's also a construction elevator. I didn't get the chance to film it, but I actually saw a crew actually going up and down from that before. But yeah, so this place actually had a few musical concerts. Some famous musicians had actually played here in the past. But let's get a little bit closer. And what I actually found out is that in July of 2014, some crazy arsonist had actually tried to burn this building, you know, the structure down. But like I said, this is actually a safe neighborhood. This Flushing is a nice neighborhood. I mean, I don't want you guys getting the wrong idea, but I just thought I'd mention that. There's just some, you know, crazy people all over the place, but I was actually surprised then when I read about that. So this is the Queen's Theater, this is actually a building that you can go into right underneath the Pavilion, and this is like a place where like there's like some boardroom meetings. There's like a theater room. But I met a nice guy in there who actually showed me around. So let me show you guys the inside of the building. So right here, this is inside the Pavilion's theater, and I actually did not know about this structure, and this is like a place where there's like community events that go on here, some plays, some musicals.
Banquets or galas, whatever it may be. We have 3 theaters in the building. Through this door is our little cabaret theater. The door's open, so I can just take you inside. And this is also used for meetings and stuff like that. There's a little bar behind it.
Okay.
We have our humidifiers on because the dehumidifiers on so it doesn't get too moist in here. But we don't keep those out when we're using the space. This is the main stage. I should have took you from the back so I could throw the house lights on for you.
It's a very big room.
Yeah, it's a big theater, but it only seats about like 472 people. If there was a mezzanine or some balcony or something, there's like more potential for more seating. But we can only fit 472 people in the space.
I see.
But it is a big theater. It's like roomy, you know, like even the seats. So if you go into a Broadway theater, you're like literally touching all up on one another. Yeah, the rest of the building isn't really open right now, that's all I can show you, but if you need to use the restroom or anything, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
You can look in your project. What was your name again?
Patrick.
I'm Vasilios. Nice to meet
What's your
you.
name?
Vasilios.
Vasilios?
Yeah.
Thank you for showing me around, Vasilios.
No problem. It's,
I appreciate it.
School project or just something you're working on?
It's a YouTube video.
Oh, great. You're a streamer. You do.
Yes, I'm a YouTuber.
That's awesome.
You can look me up. I'm The Professional.
Oh, The Professional is your...
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'll check it out.
You played GTA 4 before?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, this is just recording like landmarks in real life and like comparing it to GTA 4.
So what did they based Flushing Meadow Park off of something in GTA?
Fresh Meadows Park in GTA 4.
Oh, that's right. I have to tell, so I'll tell my little brother because he plays it more than I do.
You know Packy in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, Packy lives like right across the street from the park.
That's right. Now I remember because when you're looking at Fresh Meadows Park in the game, it looks like a cross. It is this park, but it's this park like way more condensed, and it also looks like Central Park in a weird way and Prospect Park at the same time.
I forgot how big this park was
This
because
park
in
is
the
fucking
game
huge.
it's so much more condensed.
If you go onto like the Corona side of the park, where they have the parking lot, they have like, I don't know how to explain it to you, but there's like a big street between the park and then residences like houses in Corona, the actual town of Corona, and then there's like street parking in between the street. I feel like that's also referenced in the video game as well. The fountain is definitely referenced.
Yes.
The little bridge is just painted yellow.
Okay. Oh, Vasilios, right?
Vasilios, that's
Okay,
me.
well thank you
No problem.
thank you for showing
Nice
me
to
around.
meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Good luck in your project.
Thank you. Yeah, nice guy that works here. He showed me around.
Yeah, we were talking about the airport and how it's like it's like a condensed version of Astoria and Flushing and Corona. And then I was like, yeah, his YouTube is, and I fucking forgot. I'm shit for brain sometimes. The Professional. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So this is a close-up of the Pavilion, and this is actually, GTA 4 did this one pretty accurately on the size on what it's actually like. But as you guys can see, the pavilion's towers are like really rusted. Like this part has not been restored. I think that they're in the process of doing that right now. And for people wondering, no, there's no way for visitors to go up there. You're not allowed to go up there. There used to be another elevator here, I believe, a long time ago, but they actually took that out. They have a construction elevator right now. But yeah, so that's what it's like in the pavilion. In the game, there is actually ladders, I remember, that you can actually climb all the way to the top of the towers. And I think Rockstar just put that in because they knew that players were gonna want to get up there. But you guys can see, let me try to zoom in a little bit here. You guys can actually see right there these kind of yellow staircases inside the concrete. So there's construction staircases here, and then there's staircases inside there. So there's a way for workers to get to the top of it. But that's it. I'm not certain whether people were ever able to go up there. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. But this is more of a close-up of this, and see, you guys can see this is painted very differently here. So this was restored. This used to be like rusted also. This was actually fixed up. This part, hopefully they do restore this, because I mean this is like a historical landmark. So I mean I would want to see this. I would want to see this restored one day too. But yeah, like I have actually very rarely been here. I've maybe only been here like one other time in my life. And so when I was a kid and I was, always being in the back of my parents' car or driving around in the back seat, like there's we would drive by this place like so much, this thing, and I never even really knew the story behind this building. I never really knew what this building was about. But let me try to get on the other side, see if there's any way I can capture a video of the inside. I might not be able to, but we'll see. So I walked around the entire pavilion, guys. There is no way to actually get inside. It's not allowed for visitors. But this is like, the closest that you can get to seeing inside. So there's a lot of like overgrown vegetation in there right now, but this is ultimately what the pavilion looks like. And this actually used to be considered the world's largest cable suspended roof in the world, but it's not anymore. But there actually used to be more of a roof up there on the top, but I think that they removed that a long time ago. But yeah, there's not much more around this side. There's, just the bigger parts of the park. There is a little bit of like, kind of like a skate park there. So like, people can take bicycles, skateboards, go and hang out right there. So let me show you guys something else near the Sphere. And there's also an ice cream truck there. Imagine I actually get copyrighted over the ice cream music. Imagine how I would not be surprised that actually happened. But anyways, this is like a very weird like thing. It's kind of actually cool, but this is like a kind of like, I don't know if you call this a fountain, but this is actually something that you can walk through, and this is like basically this is not, it's not water that's coming out. It's coming out like kind of like cool water vapor, and so I guess it's like a way for you to cool off as you're walking through it. But yeah, you can feel that it's a lot cooler and just yeah, it's just relaxing, pleasant to walk right through it. And right here, guys, this is the Arthur Ashe Ashe Stadium, and this is actually a tennis stadium. And the U.S. Open, the U.S. Open, that big tennis tournament, is actually supposed to it's supposed to take place next week, I believe. But somebody probably knows a bit more about the competition in the comments down below. I'm not much of a tennis guy myself, but I wanted to show you guys this stadium here. There's also numerous tennis courts that are part of this complex here, and there is actually something going on right there, but you need to have yeah, I think you need to pay for tickets to get inside. But yes, this is you know, another famous part of the park. So this park does attract a lot of visitors because of the tennis competition. Okay guys, so last stop of the tour here, and that is basically trying to find Packy's house. Flushing is a pretty big area. I tried my best with the maps to try to find it. I think I actually pinpointed the area where it is, but I wanted to show you guys this. So yeah, that. Yeah, that right there. That's how loud the trains are in New York City. But anyways, this you guys see the tracks right here. This is very similar to like Packy's neighborhood. And so let me flip the camera here. So this right here is where Packy would live, I think. So you see these buildings? These buildings look a little bit different, where Packy's staircase was just like, you know, straight going up. These are kind of like curved. And the buildings were actually made out of brick, mostly in GTA 4. But you see, these are like right underneath the train tracks, kind of like two-floor houses. Pretty similar design to Packy's house. A few blocks over, there's actually kind of a little bit more similar style buildings. I'm gonna show you guys those right now.
Sophisticated European.
I don't know about that.
So, how are you?
All right, yeah?
Kate! Don't stand there talking to him on the doorstep. Ask him in.
Oh, come in. Ma, you remember the boy's friend Nico?
How are you?
Good, and you?
Put it like this. My boys are out of control. My daughter can't find a man, and my husband is in hell. I'm thinking God moves in mysterious ways. Oh.
That's Mother for you. Always a joy.
So now we're gonna go to their house in Meadows Park, and Meadows Park is based on Flushing Meadows in Queens.
Yeah, bad boy, Nico. I don't know what I will be doing without you, you know. But I must say I got to get the blood clots to set I up. All right. Drive while I block up some more, you know, brother. The rascal, I think he can call a bad man. He's a fool. He's a dead fool. The boy is no match for I and I. He's nothing.
Okay, so here's their house.
Are you with me, brother?
Yes.
I'm gonna put some road boy in the ground.
Take cover. Okay, so you're introduced to cover mechanics now.
I'll set this place on fire to blood clot. We can't get
Shotgun.
the boy. Check the window. See him up there?
Okay, now we go in. Notice how the cover in a lot of places will also get destroyed.
Wicked. You see it? And I get them all. Yo, make we broke out here. Think some more soon turn up.
Okay, so now we take Jacob to the homebrew cafe. Little Jacob is like one of the best GTA characters of all time. He's one of the best friends, and he helps Nico out a lot. That's what I like about him. He's loyal to Nico. He's a good friend.
Wicked. Now tell me back at the cafe and thing.
I also wanted to show you guys a few other brick houses that are actually in Flushing. These aren't pictures that I took, but these are pictures from Google, and these are very common designs that are all across Queens. Some of these can also be found in Brooklyn, but this is specifically in Flushing, and these are more similar to what Packy's house actually looks like. However, though, these houses aren't underneath the train tracks. These are just, spread across the neighborhood. The ones that I found under the train tracks kind of resemble Packy's neighborhood, but don't have that brick design on the outside, and if you follow the street down, there's a few more houses like that, but it's nothing like where it's right across the street, and you just see, like, the train tracks and the houses. It's a little bit actually farther from the park, a few blocks more away, but basically this is where a lot of the houses look like in Queens. I actually grew up in a house pretty similar to this, building similar to this. These houses, as you can see, are connected to each other, so you are going to know your neighbors, and you're going to have a lot of contact with your neighbors. I know people are probably going to ask me, can you actually hear your neighbors through the walls in these houses? It depends on the house. The house that I grew up in, no, we didn't hear our neighbors at all, so I guess the walls were just built really well. But also, for people wondering, how much do buildings like this actually cost? And I thought I'd show this also. So, houses like this could actually go up to $1 million. Not joking on that. And, I love Flushing. I love Queens. It's where I grew up. But that's one thing that I thought I'd mention, because some people would probably ask me about the prices of homes in this area. So that's actually it. A lot of buildings in New York City are very, very, very expensive. And also rent is also really expensive. But as bad as rent is, and rent is the worst in Manhattan, that's also where the worst property values you have. But renting out a house like this would actually be more affordable than actually trying to pay and buy a house like this. But you can see right here, I got a rental page, but most people in New York, almost nobody in New York, none of them really live by themselves. Almost everybody lives with a roommate because rent is just completely out of control. But that is pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making this video, revisiting a neighborhood I spent a lot of my childhood in. So thank you guys for watching. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like, and I will try to do more videos like this in the future. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Take care, everyone.